With live Championship football this Friday on BBC Radio Suffolk as Ipswich Town host Sheffield United at Portman Road. Let's join our commentary team just ahead of kick-off. Former Town captain Mick Mills is alongside Brenna Woolley.
Defeat tonight's pretty much unthinkable for both of these teams as the Championship returns after the first of 3 international breaks before Christmas. Clearly neither Ipswich Town nor Sheffield United have started the season as they would have hoped, not the way in which most people expected them to. Certainly a tricky August in both Suffolk and South Yorkshire. Town without a win, putting just 3 points on the board. Well, the Blades didn't even manage that, losing all 4 of their games so far. Something has to change tonight. Let's just hope it's the Blues ending their 2025 duck here rather than the visitors belatedly getting their campaign up and running. It's 22 years since these two clubs served up a modern day classic here as Joe Royal's Ipswich fought back from 2-0 down and a man light to beat Neil Warnock's United 3-2. Wonder what entertainment we'll get from this one. Mick, a lot of people won't be fussed about the spectacle as long as we see a home victory. What about you? Would you like to see a bit more from Ipswich Town in terms of the performance level?
Well, I think because of the amount of outgoings we've had and the incomings we've had, I think you're at a stage at the moment where you're really coming down to really hope that we gain the result, because I'm not sure whether at this stage of putting these players together you're going to get an outstanding performance, if you like, and a together performance, you know. So hopefully what I want tonight is for enough individuals to sort of hit their peak to give us a performance in that way which will enable us to perhaps get the result that we badly need. And I think both clubs really tonight have sort of started the season in a way unnecessarily badly. I think that Sheffield United, I don't know the reason, but I'm absolutely sure that if they hadn't had a managerial change, I think they would have been near the top of the table. They got more than 90 points last year. They can't have overnight become a bad team. And I think that we are guilty of having made too many unnecessary changes. So hence, we're near the bottom of the table. We're having an indifferent period. This is going to be a very, very interesting game.
Yeah, Town win tonight. They could go 11th or 12th with a victory, depending on the goal swing. If they lose this one, they could be 12 points off the top by close of play tomorrow. Fireworks have been going off inside the ground as we prepare for this 8 o'clock kickoff live on BBC Radio Suffolk. As ever between these two sides, a cracking atmosphere, particularly under the lights at Portman Road on a Friday night. 2 changes from the draw with Derby last time out. Ashley Young drops to the bench. Of course, there's no Connor Chaplin, likely to make his debut for Portsmouth against Southampton on Sunday. In come Darnell Furlong at right back for his Ipswich Town debut, and Chuba Akpom, who we heard from earlier on match night, makes his first start for the club. So Palmer in goal. The back 4, Furlong, O'Shea the captain, Greaves and Davis. That's Matu Siwa alongside Kayuste in midfield. Across the park in front of them, McAteer, Akpom, Philogene, and then it's Hurst who leads the line. On the bench, Walton, Jack Clark, Taylor, Azon, Kipre, Marcelino Nunez hoping to make his Ipswich Town debut. Smodix has passed a fitness test after dropping out the Island squad halfway through the break. Sindra Waller-Egerly is also here with the number 8 on his back, hoping to make his first appearance. The 19-year-old who came in for a championship record fee towards the end of the window. And Ben Johnson. 3 changes made by Ruben Sellers, the manager of Sheffield United. 2 of the massive surprises. Gus Harmer, the championship player of the season last year, is on the bench, and also their leading goal scorer last year, Tyrese Campbell, the only player that scored for them in the league this time around, is also amongst the subs. At Bindon, the other player that drops out from the 1-0 defeat to Middlesbrough. McGuinness comes in for his debut, so too Matos, and Cannon starts up front. He was a January arrival from Leicester. Cooper, the former Plymouth man, is the visitors' goalkeeper. A back 4, of Godfrey, Tanganga, McGuinness and Burrows. So 2 former Town loan players in that 4, Godfrey and McGuinness. Then you've got Peck, the captain, alongside Matos, both of them 20. Peck turns 21 tomorrow. Then a 3 of Brooks, O'Hare, and another former Blues loanee, Louis Barry, playing in behind Cannon, who got a lot of goals and started last season on loan from Leicester at Stoke. That's what sparked the Blades into buying him in the new year. On the bench, Davis, the sub-keeper, played for Wales against Canada in the week. McCallum, formerly of Norwich. Harmer, who I've mentioned. Me, who arrived recently. Sumare, Campbell, Chong, One and Sariki. 2 teams down in front of us. It's going to be Sheffield United kicking off, playing from right to left in the red and white stripes with black shorts, white socks. A black and white sock, should I say, up against Ipswich Town. Obviously defending the north stands. Town in blue, white, blue. The referee, Farai Halam, 18 yellows in 4 games so far this season, which suggests he's something of a disciplinarian. Hasn't been in charge of an Ipswich Town game so far, as this one gets underway. Obviously the first game of the Championship weekend. When we get a break and play later on, I'll run you through some of the other fixtures in the second tier this weekend. Luke Wolfenden could make his debut against Norwich of all teams tomorrow, incidentally. On halfway, Akpom on loan from Ajax. Early touch for him to the left-hand side. Philogene. Ipswich Town coming forward. Davis outside the United box. In comes his cross. Might be a chance for a nod down for Hurst. And it goes as far as O'Shea. O'Shea strikes, cleared away by his fellow countryman McGuinness. United have it at left back, and it's Burrows who clears it up. Touched on by Cannon, making inroads down the left-hand side. Louis Barry, end-to-end inside the first minute. Barry inside the Ipswich area. Terrific challenge from Matu Siwa. Really good. Kept his eye on the ball, took it away from Barry in a threatening position, and that'll do the Dutchman's confidence the world of good. Here come Ipswich Town. Wow, what a start to this game. Hurst to Akpom. Philogene far side, 0-0 under the lights at Portman Road. Philogene into the Sheffield United area. Inside the second minute, still Jaden Philogene goes to ground, shoots, but it's straight at the man in yellow. Cooper. Wow, that was breathless.
Well, that is a supporter's start to any football match. 2 attacks by Town, 1 by Sheffield United. All 3 look dangerous. I don't think the players on the pitch will be very sort of pleased with that start.
Headed backwards by Peck. Came through Arsenal's academy. But has been in South Yorkshire for a couple of seasons now. Likes a tackle, tenacious character in midfield. Has captained them before. Says a lot about his mentality at the age of 20, captaining a side in a competitive game of this magnitude. Long punt forward from Cooper, won by Greaves, who of course scored Town's opening goal here last time. Davis is fouled by Brooks. Flags up far side, free kick to Ipswich in front of the left back area. This is the 3rd of 4 games at Portman Road.
I believe Davis was definitely fouled there, but it was a very, very unkind ball from Philogene.
O'Shea to the right hand side, Furlong, former QPR and West Brom player, puts it up under the chest of Akpom. He's been involved early on and done well so far. Akpom has a good goal scoring record against tonight's visitors. Referee wants a free kick to be retaken as Furlong tried to get McAteer on his way. Obviously a brand new partnership down this near side for Ipswich Town of Furlong and McAteer. McAteer was away with the Republic of Ireland for the last couple of weeks or so, as was this man O'Shea. Poor result for them against Armenia just a few days ago. Here is Akpom again, barged to the floor by McGuinness, who arrived on deadline day from Luton. Down the left-hand side, Barry, up towards O'Hare, touch back in field. United player goes down, sandwiched off the ball, Matos. Cleared by the left peg of Palmer. Towards Hurst, nodded down by Tanganga, who's made a very good start to his life at Sheffield United, having arrived from Millwall in the summer. On the right-hand side, here is Brooks, an academy player, back to Peck outside the Ipswich Town area. Some pressure from United. Godfrey, low ball into the box, beat the first defender Davis, but then cleared by Matu Siwa. United have it back inside the centre circle with Burrows, former Peterborough colleague of Jack Taylor and Sam Smoddox. Cooper out short to Tanganga, started his career at Tottenham. Long left ball out to the left-hand side. Furlong wins it in the air above Barry, which you would expect him to do. Infield to McAteer. McAteer spins on the ball, gives it to Furlong, looking to get it back to McAteer, intercepted by Burrows. Here come United. Game still being played at 100 miles an hour. It's Peck in midfield. Been away with the England under-21s this past fortnight. There is Matos, as we were saying, both midfielders in the centre for Sheffield United, just 20 years of age. Here is Matos again, former Chelsea player. Louis Barry, his 8th loan spell from Aston Villa. Louis Barry's first one was actually here. Great likes of Stockport and Hull since then. Ball forward from Burrows. Greaves will head it back towards Palmer. Palmer can't prevent it, going out for a corner kick, and that's a relatively cheap one after 5 minutes.
Well, it was a lovely ball. It just really got Jacob Greaves guessing, really, you know, and in the end it was a little bit of a mistake by him to get Sheffield United a corner. This is an incredibly good start by both sides. It's lively, it's interesting. It's just what's going to happen next.
Been some good encounters between these two sides down the years, here or at Bramall Lane. It's been lively this first 5 minutes. Burrows with his corner kick for Sheffield United. Free header off target, thankfully, by Tanganga. Got a couple of goals for Millwall last season. Thankfully yet to break his duck for Sheffield United.
Yeah, it was a decent corner in it. Perhaps it's just a little bit too far away from the goals to be sort of a real threat. He got a decent header on it, but it was not going to be one that was going to trouble Palmer in the town goals. But often when you get a start like this, something really good happens. One side sort of they capitalise on it, and it does affect the game.
Here is McAteer. Furlong infield to Akpom, well controlled by the former Middlesbrough player. Gives it to Kayuste, a little Cruyff turn. He loses the ball. That was risky. Here come United trying to capitalise on that mistake. Brooks inside the Ipswich area spoons it beyond the far post. Seemed to be caught in so many minds as to what he was going to do and also which boot he was going to be using. And in the end, Brooks made an almighty mess of that goal kick.
Well, he's done well to sort of get in the position he got himself in, but it was then one. Do I bend this into the top corner personally? But he tried, I think, to sort of hit the lone striker Tom Cannon, and Cannon's position actually was really good, but it was the quality or lack of quality that cost them.
Hasn't really done it so far for Sheffield United, Cannon, but he is a good player. Came through at Everton, scoring bags of goals for them at youth level, and then had a useful spell at Preston earlier on in his career, and he's been sharp in pre-season, so that's why he's been given a chance. Oh, poor from Akpom. Here is O'Hare inside the Ipswich town area, trying to play it off the outside of his right boot into the 6-yard area. It's blocked off and out by O'Shea on this near side.
Well, I don't think Dara O'Shea expected us to lose possession of the ball there, because he was sort of on his own, probably 10 to 12 yards behind his centre-back partner. I think he must have been just talking maybe to the goalkeeper or something.
Yeah, that was poor from Akpom. Thankfully nothing came of it immediately. 7 minutes gone, live on BBC Radio Suffolk under the lights at Portman Road. Jeffert Tanganga has this throw in for Sheffield United into the Ipswich town area. It comes, headed away by O'Shea, nodded back forward by Matos into a dangerous area. McGuinness with a nod down, then O'Hare with a shot off target, but it wouldn't have counted anyway. Town had a player fouled pretty much on the penalty spot. Jacob Greaves now belatedly getting back up to his feet. We're still goalless.
Well, we had that fast and furious start. It was end to end, and now for the last couple of minutes it seems territorially that Sheffield United have got a slight grip on the game.
O'Shea to the right hand side, and Furlong goes long towards Hurst. Of course, his father, a Sheffield Wednesday legend, David Hurst. Here is Tanganga, he's done well against Hurst, but brought down by McAteer. Free kick on the halfway line to Sheffield United, who in their last 4 seasons at this level, they finished 2nd, 5th, 2nd and 3rd. So if they're not in the Premier League, which they have been a few times in recent seasons, they're always up and in and around the playoff positions, and that's what they'll be hoping for this time around. Still early days, but boy, do they need something sooner rather than later. Here on the halfway line is Burrows down the line to Barry. The referee's unhappy with the placement of that ball by the looks of things.
I think that was because everybody else was ready for the free kick to be taken except the referee. And he actually spotted, Burrows spotted a very, very sort of good idea. Everybody's gathering over on the left-hand side of the Town defence, and that was a good ball down the right.
Burrows diagonally from the halfway, launches it up to the edge of the Ipswich area, off to our left, headed down off the edge of the box by an Ipswich player, nodded up by Peck towards the area, flicked on by Brooks. Ipswich, for a second, fans got a bit excited about the prospect of an Akpom breakaway, but Matos covered the run and was on the ball sharper than the Ipswich Town attacker. Matos goes cross-field, but a holding by Furlong on Barry. Out of play, it goes for a throw to Town. If you're just joining us on BBC Radio Suffolk, Town have got Furlong and Akpom in for their full debuts in place of Young and, of course, Chaplin. Sindra Waller-Eggley is on the bench, so too Marcelina Nunez. Ball won in midfield by O'Hare. In flies Kayuste. Good challenge, well won by the Swede. Matosiwa has done well to get the ball through a gap to Greaves. Greaves into the path of Davis. On the far side, it's Philogene collecting the ball. Tracked by Brooks and also Godfrey. Philogene still has it. Down the line to Leif Davis, underneath the Sheffield United fans. Little roll ball in field to Kayuste outside the United area. Drags it back. Davis on the left. Chance to tee up a cross. And it comes to the centre towards Hurst. Surely a goal! Oh, Akpom's missed it from 2 yards out. Just the bounce must have deceived him. But when it came in from the left, it looked like it had to be an opening goal for Ipswich Town. So close to the first goal of this game.
Well, it's terrific work into the ball between Leif Davis and Philogene, and that ball in by Leif Davis was absolutely 10 out of 10.
Ball forward from Burrows, cleared away by O'Shea. Matos with a poor touch. Furlong sees it bounce out of play by a television camera near side. Still 0-0.
I mean, you had Hurst and Akpom going into the right area there, and actually, if you could have lifted Hurst out of the equation, Akpom would have scored. It was only that Hurst missed the initial ball that really caused the problem.
It was a touch from the goalkeeper that took it away from Akpom. Had Cooper missed that, Akpom was going to score. There are two ways about it. The keeper just got enough glove on it to divert it away from Akpom, and the chance had gone as Akpom's crunched to the ground in the middle third by McGuinness, who was on loan from Arsenal when he had a spell with Town. Early ball forward to the left-hand side. Philogene, beautifully controlled. Philogene inside the United area. Jayden Philogene for Ipswich, down! Saved by Cooper on his near post. And it goes to Philogene on the far side. He gives it back to Davis. Signs of a partnership developing between those two. Davis skips away from Brooks. In comes his ball towards the keeper. Tanganga and the goalkeeper went for the same ball. It could easily have deflected into the United net rather embarrassingly, but eventually Cooper got on it.
Excellent play by Philogene, but I think the referee's guilty there. He refused an early free kick by Sheffield United. Then when Town do one, when nobody's expecting it, he allowed it to go on, you know, so I think the referee was a bit naughty there.
Headed down by Godfrey, like he was here last season, not loaned from Atalanta. Peck into the middle to Matos. Still nice game to watch this, end to end. Barry inside the Ipswich Town area. Still Louis Barry has it. Shoots deflected off of Furlong, and that's going to be a second corner to the Blades.
Well, they look good in the centre of midfield with their ability in there, but they look quite threatening down the sides as well, which is quite worrying for Town.
Burrows, who was always well regarded during his time at London Road, was always seen as a player who would go on to play at a higher level. Here he is on this corner for Sheffield United in the 13th minute at Portman Road. Still to see a goal on BBC Radio Suffolk this evening, and it comes from Burrows. The twisting of the neck is from Tanganga once again. This one headed over the bar though.
Well, this is a good game really for the supporters, it really is. The players will be, you know, they'll be a little bit concerned about it. This isn't really normally what any team wants to sort of be part of. You know, it's just too free, too open, you know, and both teams will be a bit concerned with it.
Referee wants this to be retaken. This goal kick from Palmer after he just worked it via Matosiwa to Greaves. Ball's back on the edge of Palmer's 6-yard area off to our left-hand side. We've already seen more football, a lot more football in this 13 minutes than we saw in the 61 minutes or so, that extended second half a couple of weeks ago. Long downfield from O'Shea. Hurst's going to go after it. Hurst might have a chance of getting this. Burrows in the end headed it. Tanganga whips it up and away from the D off to our right towards the halfway. Glancing header down by Brooks. Ipswich get it back by Matosiwa to Davis. Here is at Kayuste, chopped down by Peck, ball out far side, only for a throw to the visitors, says Mr. Hallam. And they're still goalless. It's Ruben Sellers. He's a long black puffer coat, stands arms folded down below us. Fourth club he's taken charge of since 2023, Ruben Sellers. Here is O'Hare for Sheffield United, his current employers. Also at Southampton, Reading and Hull, the 42-year-old Spaniard. Good run from Matusiwa. Can't quite find Akpom. Jabbed forward by United, but only to Dara O'Shea. To his right-hand side, that's the near side for Town. Furlong looking for McAteer, easily intercepted by Burrows. Burrows attempted pass looking for Hare, the number 10, doesn't come off. Sheffield United get it back, but not for long. More generous in possession, but it's up to O'Shea to give it back to Palmer. Of course, they all played together at West Brom, O'Shea, Palmer and Furlong. Here come United, given away to them by Ipswich Town. Peck, 35 yards from goal. Shaped to shoot. Don't believe he was ever going to do that. It's given it square to Matos. Peck has it once again for United. Finished third in the table last season. Peck to Brooks. Brooks blocked off by Kayuste. Has to go back to Tanganga. 10 blue shirts behind the ball inside the Ipswich Town half. United have worked it from right to left. Nice 1-2 between Burrows and Barry. Burrows has seen a lot of the ball early on. Barry again. Little ball down the left inside the area. Burrows pulled down by Matusiwa. No, says the referee. No, there's not much of a protest. It's a bit half-hearted, so I suggest the referee got that one right, but I was worried initially. Cleared away by Ipswich to the forehead of McGuinness on halfway. Burrows challenged by McAteer. Illegally, says the referee. Free kick. Now Burrows has gone to the referee, complaining he should have had a penalty.
Well, there was contact, but I'm not quite sure whether it was sort of worthy of a penalty. Here we go here now. He's touched him on the arm, and that was all that the player was hoping he would do, and then he's thrown himself to the ground.
Yeah, well done, referee. See that from a couple of different angles. It was the right call, and as ever, tell by the player's reaction, he wasn't that convinced, nor was anybody else out there in red and white. At the moment, the free kick. United, free kick. Burrows plants it into the Ipswich Town area, off to our left. Headed away by Greaves, out as far as O'Hare, former Coventry player. Low driven ball in, cleared away by Hurst, back defending that set piece. Now Matos turns away from Philogene, might have lost it, or we got there just ahead of Akpom. Burrows down the left to Barry, up against McAteer. Barry, little back heel, finds Burrows in support. First time cross from Burrows, headed down by O'Hare, off target. It's come off an Ipswich Town player. It's going to be another corner to Sheffield United, who are not playing like a team at the bottom of the table.
No, neither of them are, to be quite honest. I mean, Town sort of have had maybe less of the possession, less territorially, but on the break have probably looked the most threatening, and certainly have had the better chances. Sheffield United are sort of getting the most crosses in, but they haven't really had a clear-cut opportunity.
A third corner kick of the night for Sheffield United, trying to take the lead in this first game of the Championship weekend. Off to our left, it's Burrows who knocks it in, headed away again by Hurst. All 10 blue shirts were back inside Palmer's penalty area. Matos gives it back to Cooper, all alone in the half. Off to our right, the visiting goalkeeper. He plays it forward, headed on by Furlong. O'Hare nods it forward to McGuinness, still up in an attacking area from that set piece. Brooks sees the ball out in front of Kieran McKenna. Sheffield boy through and through, Andre Brooks, gets it back to Michael Cooper. Probably he and Christian Walton, the outstanding goalkeepers in the third division, 3 years ago now, when Plymouth and Ipswich were both promoted. Now it's McGuinness. Could be a decent centre-half partnership, that Tanganga and McGuinness. They've also got Ben Mee as backup as well. They've certainly strengthened their Sheffield United in the last 48 hours of the window. Matos goes back to Cooper. Cooper out towards McGuinness. McGuinness tracked by Akpom, gets it to Peck. Peck still has the ball. Town hounding Sheffield United players. Burrows again. We've mentioned, I think, as many times as anyone else, Harrison Burrows out there in this first 19 minutes. Tanganga, who's had those couple of headers over the bar and wide from free corner kicks. Mark McGuinness once again, remember him being really impressive here. McGuinness for Arsenal in a trophy game a fair few years ago, which probably prompted Ipswich Town to bring him in on loan after that. Burrows gets the better of McAteer, then goes across the field with a diagonal, switching things up. Ipswich win it in midfield with Kayuste, lovely ball to McAteer, goal side, inside the area, in the right area, shoots across the face of it, well saved by Cooper. It's on target from McAteer, decent effort, the keeper did well. They play, the ball goes near side, cleared by Sheffield United.
Yeah, that's one of those sort of attacks. They do a little bit of defending, then all of a sudden there's a springboard and Town get a good attack going, and we've got McAteer into a very good position. He was gifted a little bit too much room down the sides, so much so that he could actually see the goal, you know, and so he opted to shoot. Not very good defending by Burrows.
Nice out from Hurst, finding McAteer, intercepted by United, but it might go through to Philogene. Can Ipswich Town make the most of this opportunity? Philogene inside the United area, still Jaden Philogene! And it's low into the corner of the net! And Philogene gives Ipswich Town the lead after 20 minutes! It was unlucky from United's perspective, but boy did Town make the most of that opportunity and they lead.
Yeah, the ball that got to Philogene was a bit fortunate, but the response by our left siders was absolutely brilliant. Philogene seized upon the ball. Leif Davis took off like a greyhound to try and get the overlap. He got the overlap. It gave Philogene the time to come inside and pick his spot and hammered into the far corner.
Quality finish from the former Aston Villa player, and he came inside. It was a really good opportunity for him. He's made the most of it. So no way Cooper was going to get there.
And it was a wonderful overlap by Leif Davis. I watched his position when he took off. He was about 30-35 yards behind Philogene. A lot of fullbacks would say, no, I can't help you, and would have stayed there. He said, there might be a chance that I can help you, and off he went.
Well done. Jaden Philogene's put Ipswich Town ahead live on BBC Radio Suffolk. Of course, they led against Derby and then found themselves 2-1 behind for a worrying amount of time. Peck goes back to Cooper. Cooper clears. Not the tallest of goalkeepers, Michael Cooper, but even if he had been a fair few inches taller, he wasn't going to get that one. Fine finish. Here comes Davis down the left-hand side for Ipswich Town, taking on Godfrey. Low ball into the centre. Oh, it's travelled right through, about 8 yards from the goal line, and out on this near side for a throw to United. Another good break down the left from Ipswich.
Yeah, and again, nothing wrong with that at all. The left-back has done his job brilliantly. The box scene on a fast break was good. We had the three players you would expect to be in there. Hurst, the central striker, Akpom, who is the supporting player, and McAteer coming in off the right-hand side. His position was terrific.
Sheffield United have the ball underneath us. Their left, in goes O'Shea. Free kick for a late challenge on O'Hare on this near side of the field, so obviously it's a United free kick midway inside the Ipswich Town half of the field. Town with Furlong and Akpom in tonight for Young and Chaplin. If you weren't with us for team news before kick-off, as Burrows gets himself ready to take this free kick for Sheffield United in their half of the field, clearly rattled by the fact that they're a goal down in this championship encounter. Long forward from Burrows, so Shea nods it down in the back line for Ipswich Town. Matusua has done very well, gives it to McAteer. McAteer is robbed. Then goes Matusua, wins the ball well, but then gives it away looking for Akpom. He finds Peck. United with Matos to the left-hand side. Barry crosses into the Ipswich Town area towards the far stick. Good work from Davis. His header only goes as far as Burrows. He recycles it to the left, and Barry back to Burrows. Going to be a little bit too cute. The ball's out behind for a goal kick to Ipswich Town.
Well, we've started okay and we've got ourselves in front, but when I look at Sheffield United, I think there is a definite sign that they're better going forward than they are defending in numbers. Their back four is okay, individually is okay, and on their own they're pretty good, but they get very, very little assistance from the midfield.
Town 1-0 ahead. Jayden Philogene first goal at Portman Road. That one has set them on their way. Leif Davis is upended over in the far left corner as we look at things. Gives Kieran McKenna a chance to sit down next to Martin Pert and look at his screen down below us. 25th minute here at Portman Road, and as you can hear, Portman Road in fine voice. Palmer outside his penalty area gives the ball square to O'Shea. O'Shea then to Furlong. Furlong infield to fellow debutant Akpom. Akpom goes back to Furlong. Now again with the skipper. O'Shea down the line, out of play. Kieran McKenna's not happy with that. To let his captain know about it. Burrows thought about going back to his goalkeeper with a throw in. Has had second thoughts though. And on halfway he's going to go forward by the looks of things. Just a couple of yards away from Kieran McKenna, down below us. Goes towards O'Hare, who started his career like Jayden Philogene at Aston Villa. Kayuste goes into the 50-50 against Burrows. Ball comes off Burrows for a throw to Darnell Furlong.
Well, that little loose ball sort of made me think back to Derby County. If that had been a Derby County player there, you'd have put Kayuste in the stand, I think. But that was a very, very friendly effort by the Sheffield United player.
Brooks again catches Davis late on the far side. A few Town fans suggesting maybe Brooks should be handed a yellow card, which, as I say, this referee is no stranger to based on his first 4 games of the season. Stern word though on this occasion for the youngster Brooks. Free kick which Greaves rolls back towards Palmer. Matasiwa to Palmer, a little bit risky, but it worked out, although Matasiwa's taken one on his heel or Achilles. He's up on his feet finally. Furlong up towards Hurst, held the ball up well. It's good from George Hurst. Out it goes under a challenge from Tanganga. Kieran McKenna applauds that from Hurst, who did get some minutes with Scotland during the break. Matasiwa's still grimacing a little bit, but he's up on the halfway line with those orange boots of his. Furlong hurls the ball back to O'Shea. O'Shea across the field, that's wayward. Won't be kept in by Philogene. It's a bit scruffy from the captain. Had a wobbly couple of minutes with his distribution. United throw in.
Well, his manager's already just had a little word to him about the loose pass, and then he produces one like that.
Burrows underneath us, trying to go beyond McAteer. He's done it. Burrows then touches it on, looking for O'Hare. O'Shea steps in, gives it back to Alex Palmer. Palmer once more. He'll begin to have his first clean sheet of the season. Palmer out to Kayuste, edge of the area, goes back to Palmer. Town playing it around at the back, out to the right hand side, outside his box is O'Shea. O'Shea clips it forward, nodded out by McGuinness as Kieran McKenna wants a word with Jayden Philogene and George Hurst in particular at the moment. Furlong midway inside the Ipswich Town half, 27.5 minutes played. Ipswich Town ahead. Philogene with a goal. His only previous league goals were at Old Trafford. Philogene throw forward from Furlong over the top of McAteer. Hurst battling with Tanganga. It's a good battle between those two. Cleared away by Sheffield United up to the halfway line. Furlong wins the header. Peck volleys it forward. Greaves has got a head start and plays it away from Cannon back to Palmer. Palmer out to Kayuste. Kayuste gliding over the grass up to the halfway, gives it to the goal scorer. Philogene goes into the centre circle, still has it Philogene, out to the right, McAteer, the number 20, attacking the United box up to our right. In comes his cross towards Hurst. It was a good ball, headed away by McGuinness, as Davis finds Greaves in the middle. It's now O'Shea, bang in the centre of Portman Road. Furlong to his right hand side. Furlong then goes back to O'Shea. So Fabio Wardley, who we heard from earlier on in the programme, settling down to his seat in the director's box earlier on, alongside Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, here supporting his old mate Kieran McKenna, and also hoping to see his fellow countryman Sundra Walla Eggley at some stage, the former Manchester United manager. Out for a throw-in that Burrows will take for Sheffield United.
He was miles out of his technical area, so I don't know what he was arguing over.
Peck trying to turn away from Kiyuste. He was fouled by the Swede, says Mr. Hallam, who's in a good spot. United can pour bodies forward as Peck just holds the base of his back. Having been upended inside Ipswich Town territory. Ruben Sellers continuing to speak to the fourth official, Oliver Langford. Fourth official was the man in charge of Ipswich Town's only win here this year, the FA Cup tie with Bristol Rovers back in January. But so far so good here tonight as they're trying to get their first 3 points on this pitch in 2025. It's a free kick to United. Barry and Burrows over it. Barry steps over the ball. Burrows puts it into the Ipswich Town area, headed away by Kiyuste, stooping to head it at stomach height really. Kept in by O'Hare far side. He'll run forward with it 10 yards, then give it to Brooks on the right hand side. Philogene back defending. Andre Brooks plays it infield to Peck. Peck thought about having a go, plays it into the centre, blocked off by Greaves, comes back to Peck. And Peck then goes back towards Cooper, all alone inside the half off to our right. One touch pass from the goalkeeper to Burrows. Burrows sprints forward for United. McGuinness to Peck. Clearly by his own admission, his move to Luton didn't work out for Mark McGuinness, relegated from this division last season. Now with Japhet Tanganga. 24 Premier League starts for Tottenham, Tanganga. Good signing by United in the summer. United are behind in this game. Jayden Philogene with the only goals so far, as at the moment Town happy enough for Sheffield United to have the ball. It's currently on the halfway line. Town keeping their shape. Now with Matos, loan at Huddersfield a couple of years ago, Alex Matos. McGuinness, square to Tanganga, drops a shoulder, wants to take on Hurst. He's got away from him, Tanganga. Hurst challenges him well, wins the ball. What can Ipswich Town do now? Springing forward. Philogene to Akpom, who's measured that pass beautifully. Akpom stayed on side very well. Akpom inside the United area. Into the centre comes a shot come cross. It's out this near side for a throw to United.
Well, we've had just over 30 minutes of play, and there's a definite pattern about the game. You know, Town are playing very much a counter-attacking game. I don't know whether it's by design or what. Sheffield United have had the majority of the possession territorially. They've probably been in charge of that as well. They've put lots of crosses in the Town box, but haven't got anything on target from those crosses. So they look a little bit weak as far as scoring goals are concerned. But Town look extremely good on the break.
O'Shea with a header to the centre circle, controlled by Brooks. Gives it to Burrows underneath. That's Burrows up towards O'Hare. Poor touch from O'Shea. Given away though by United. Philogene. What happened the last time United gave the ball away to this man? He's got a lot of work to do at the moment. He's having a good night so far, Jayden Philogene, enjoying himself. A little bit of a trick on the ball there. Greaves over the top to Davis. Flag stays down, but he won't catch the ball before it's out for a goal kick. But again, nice stuff from Town.
Yeah, and down the left-hand side, that's the side that we look most impressive tonight. The right-hand side is A-OK, but they are, you know, this is... When I think back to Danassian and Burns, they were together for years and years and had a terrific understanding. Since then, we've had a number of right-side partnerships, and this one is new tonight, you know, and they haven't quite got their game going, not like the other side. Davis and Philogene have been very good.
But United are unbeaten in the last 5 meetings between these two sides. Just the one win here in their last 21 visits in the league. Neil Warnock always used to bemoan coming here when he was in charge of the Blades. Next to no joy. Almost given away by Town inside their area. Palmer eventually clears it away. Out it goes on the far side for a throw to United. Yeah, that solitary win in relatively recent times. It was in 2010. That was a game that Tom Eastman was sent off. It was a 3-0 at the end of the season. Anyway. But yeah, one league win here in 50 years for United, and they found themselves behind here tonight with 12 minutes of the first half still to go. Burrows up towards Cannon. Heavy touch from the Irishman, but it's gone back to Burrows. I think he was trying to lay it off. He was trying to control it initially, Cannon. Free kick to United on the left.
Yeah, he's lively, Burrows.
Isn't he?
Yeah, he's a give and go man. You know, he wants to progress the play as much as possible. Very similar to what Leif Davis does for us.
Burrows. Look at this long-range free kick wide left for Sheffield United, trying to get an equaliser in the net off to our left-hand side with 11 minutes of the first half to go. Burrows plants it into that box. Glancing header from Furlong, shot from Brooks, comes off the outside of his right boot. Looked like taking a deflection off Davis at first, but he just totally sliced at it, and it's a goal kick which Greaves gives to O'Shea.
Yeah, that's very similar to what we've had. Another cross going in the box. Another touch by Sheffield United in our penalty area. Put nothing on target.
Palmer to Kiyuste. Kiyuste turns it back to O'Shea. Now it's with Furlong near side. Town trying to progress play from the back up towards McAteer. McAteer's taking that ball well, and he looks down the middle for Hurst, but it goes away from him. All the way back to the man in yellow, Cooper. Cooper out to McGuinness, now with Matos. That man Burrows again. United playing it around at the back. Tanganga to Godfrey. Rarely been in the game or not mentioned Godfrey much.
No, he hasn't. You know, he hasn't really. Although they have actually attacked down the right-hand side quite a bit, but he's very much. When he plays right back, he's very much just a supporting player. Will very, very rarely do what Leif Davis does, go beyond the wide attacker. He'll always be in a supporting position, and that's it.
Run by Brooks, appeals for handball by the crowd against Cannon, not given by the referee. Sheffield United wide right, Brooks inside the Ipswich area. Again wasted, off his left boot. Curls out of play for a goal kick to Alex Palmer, and Ipswich Town still lead 1-0 as the Sky TV cameras zoom in on Gus Harmer on the Blades bench down below. It's a big call that pre-match by Ruben Sellers. Be questioned all the more if United don't get anything from this game.
Well, they did so well last year, didn't they? I mean, to get sort of over 90 points, and I believe they were about 14 in front of the fourth place team, which was Sunderland, who got promoted. You know, they didn't do very much wrong last year, and now this year they haven't really done very much right.
Yeah, got rid of Chris Wilder in the summer, his latest spell in charge, to go in a different direction, a different style of football they plan to play under Ruben Sellers. Akpom's down on halfway, not moving a great deal. Play continues. Eventually the referee blows his whistle, so the Ipswich Town attacker can potentially receive some treatment.
Yeah, but this has been a good game. I think the supporters will be pleased with this game. You know, it's lively, it's entertaining. It's not like the Derby County one, which was very, very physical. This is all football, really. You've got one team that like to sort of work the ball short initially. They're not. They will hit the crossfield ball if it's on, but they initially play short. They're probing all the time, Sheffield United, but very, very little threat to Alex Palmer. Whereas Town, we haven't seen them play this way before, so I would imagine this is Sheffield United forcing them into this style of play. I don't think this is a chosen style. We're having to defend a lot, but we have the ability to break very, very quickly with this new group of players, and that is what's carrying the biggest threat.
McGuinness bangs this free kick forward for Sheffield United, headed away by Furlong, live on BBC Radio Suffolk Sport. United looking for that equaliser before half-time. Matos to the left-hand side, and Barry in front of the north stand pulls it back, collected by Philogene inside the D. Philogene's done well defensively there, clears his line so far. McGuinness throws everything at that challenge. The ball gets to Barry. Here are United once again with Burrows. Didn't fancy striking on his left foot, that's for sure. Barry once again, in comes the cross. The former Barcelona youngster Louis Barry headed forward. Sheffield United inside the Ipswich area, and then Burrows sliced his attempted cross from the left out behind.
Well, I think he was a little bit lucky to still be onside there. That is Town guilty of not pushing up in a group. They should have had him offside. He wasn't. He's got himself in a marvellous position. He had four players inside the penalty area with him that he could hit, and he hit an awful cross.
Palmer holds on to the ball. Kiyuste then gets it back to O'Shea. Now Town can burst to the halfway line. Furlong near side, infield to Akpom. It's a good ball from the debutant to find Akpom on his first start for the club. Akpom into the area looking for Philogene. Maybe a chance for Hurst in the second phase. This time it's cleared away by Tanganga on the stretch. He's hurt himself. The referee's paused proceedings.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough. I think that was a real robust challenge by Hurst when the centre half was trying to clear his line, so that's fair enough. But Town, every time they get that, was a half an opportunity to get a little break going, and again they carried a little bit of a threat. You know, that's what Sheffield United don't. They don't really carry a threat at the moment. They look a nice team, but not a threatening team.
Jaden Philogene for Ipswich Town, the only goal scorer so far tonight on BBC Radio Suffolk. Cleared by Cooper from right to left with a twist of the neck. Greaves heads the ball back towards Palmer. Ipswich Town trying to double their points tally from 3 to 6 here tonight. There's 3 draws and a defeat in the opening month of the season. Furlong up towards Hurst. Infield it goes from McAteer. Akpom battling with a couple of players, loses out. Peck has the ball in centre field for Sheffield United. Can't go forward, so it just plays it a few yards back to Tanganga north of the centre circle. Tanganga hits a high diagonal. Furlong nods it out square away from the threat of Barry. That's a throw in that Burrows would like to take quickly for United if he's got enough support. O'Hare is there, but Burrows still has the ball behind his head. Eventually throws it to O'Hare. Burrows on the left-hand side. Still has it for Sheffield United. Plays it towards Matos. Barry, infield to Burrows. Back to Matos inside the area. Cleared away by Kiyuste for another throw to United. Square with the Ipswich Town area.
Again, clever stuff by Sheffield United, but again, you know, defensively, we sort of have the answer. We're not conceding chances, which is very good.
1-0 Ipswich. Tanganga has this throw in for United. Final 4 minutes of this first half, and it loops the Ipswich area. The Town player nudged to the floor unceremoniously by McGuinness. Free kick for that challenge on for Darnell Furlong. Free kick taken quickly by O'Shea towards McAteer near side. Ipswich Town on the counter-attack. McAteer infield to Akpom, steps over the ball. Hurst tries to get it back to Akpom, unlucky. Almost a good bit of link-up between the two of them. Peck uses his body against Hurst. Free kick goes the way of Sheffield United, to the frustration of the home crowd.
Yeah, again, it's a breakaway. The ball's come down our right-hand side, and there was possibilities again that we could create an opportunity. We didn't in the end, but we always look as if we go in to create an opportunity, whereas Sheffield United are a little bit, they work it lovely, but when the cross goes in, you don't feel that anything is going to happen.
Final 3 minutes of the first half on BBC Radio Suffolk. Tanganga goes direct, trying to get Cannon in behind. He is sharp, Tom Cannon. Throw in on the far side for United. Brooks gets it to Peck. Peck tries to get away from Matthew Siwa. The ball rolls to Philogene. Philogene runs to the halfway line, tries to feed it towards Akpom. And then Matthew Siwa with a little nudge in the back of O'Hare. United have it at centre half with Tanganga. Quite a bit of his Tottenham football under Jose Mourinho. Tanganga. A very successful time with Millwall last year. He's always likely to leave South London in the summer for bigger things. Burrows trying to get Barry away. Read and intercepted by Furlong. Furlong needs an option for Ipswich Town on this near side, the number 19. He's carried it so far, then leaves it for McAteer. Back to Matthew Siwa. Kiyuste touches it back to O'Shea. Final couple of minutes of the first half. Greaves to Davis, then Kiyuste loses the ball. No, he's fouled by O'Hare. Right next to the referee, got a perfect view of that. Kieran McKenna complains to the fourth official. Town have the ball in the centre circle. Jens Kiyuste looked to his right briefly, but has gone to the left, and Greaves glides away from Brooks up to the edge of the area. Greaves gives it to Philogene, the goal scorer. He gives it back to Davis, controls it, then dinks it into the area towards the run of Kiyuste. Kiyuste with a back header looking for Hurst. Doesn't quite sit down for him. Might look for Akpom, maybe a chance for McAteer. Akpom goes down in the box, but even he isn't appealing for a penalty. Cooper, underarm to this near side, Burrows into the centre circle, and O'Hare gets a bit of good fortune, gets away from Matusiwa and Kiyuste, but then plays it straight at Furlong. That was a wasted opportunity. It's really open at the moment as we head towards half-time. Kiyuste to the goal scorer, Philogene, far side, having a run at the Sheffield United backline again. Comes in field, gets away from Brooks. Philogene still has it. He goes square to McAteer. McAteer sets himself, and his effort is straight at Cooper in the middle of his goal.
But it's an effort, it's on target, it's asking the goalkeeper to do something, and that has been the pattern play right the way from the start of the game. You know, both teams are capable, but the Town attacks have something on the end of it.
United with Peck shoved to the floor, both hands of Philogene. Quickly taken free kick, about 10 seconds away from being told how much added on time there is going to be. There won't be much of it at the end of this first half, with Town leading 1-0. Here is Barry. 1 minute. Long it goes from McGuinness, headed down and out by Davis. Proto United on the far side. Here is Brooks for the visitors. Cross is smothered out by Davis. 30 years since they last started the season with 5 successive defeats. The Blades at this level. Kieran McCann's chat with the fourth official is being screened in front of us. Through to Sheffield United. Matos, the debutant, is going to be taking a final chance for them to get an equaliser in the first half. It slipped out of his hands embarrassingly. Still Rich McGuinness. McGuinness turns, belts it off with Kiyuste. It's come off McGuinness last. So a rather embarrassing moment for Sheffield United. That all round, it's now an Ipswich Town throw.
I mean, that was a complete mess up, I know, but they've sort of lined up to take a long throw from both sides of the pitch and haven't been able to produce a decent throw. That's
it for the first half here at Portman Road. Ipswich Town heading down the tunnel with a 1-0 lead thanks to Jaden Philogene.
Yeah, good game for supporters. You know, this is the type of game they enjoy watching. They would have loved the start. The first 3 or 4 minutes was sweeping attacks by both sides, you know, and they were threatening attacks as well. So it set the game up nicely. You know, you thought, well, whatever the intentions were of any team going out there and saying, make sure you don't make a mistake in the first 15 minutes, which is often a dressing room theme. You know, that didn't happen. It was sweeping up and down the pitch. Neither team would have been delighted with that start. That was far too open. But then we did, in the end, get a pattern of play. Sheffield United, the majority of the possession, the majority territorially as well. They had as many touches inside our penalty area as what we had inside the Sheffield United penalty area. But the difference was the end product. Every time we may sort of swept through and forced an attack, a breakaway attack, we actually got something on the end of it, you know. And I'm saying to myself now, this is a new team that we're watching. We haven't seen this Town team before. Now my guess is, and it is only a guess, that we haven't decided on the training ground to play this way. We haven't gone out to play a defensive game and have a counter-attacking team. I think it's just the way it's happened. We're going against a team that can dominate the possession, can force you back territorially, and then obviously the one way of playing against that is to counter-attack whenever possible. But those attacks have got to be quick, decisive, and accurate as well, you know. And funny enough, you're looking at this new team of ours and you think, well, they're not bad at that. You know, they do that quite well, you know, whereas I would have said that maybe our team of the past, and so when I'm saying of the past, that's the last 2 or 3 years, wouldn't necessarily have been able to do that. we couldn't really sweep from defence to attack, have a shot at goal. You know, we had to build up nice and slowly through our captain, Sam Morsey. So the pattern is Sheffield United, most of the game, most of the ball, most territorially possibly in charge, but nothing, not threatening our goalkeeper at all. Alex Palmer has had an easy night so far, but we are playing pretty well individually and with these sweeping attacks, and particularly down our left-hand side. That's where our goal came from. Leif Davis, Philogene, you know, excellent down there. Philogene has given us the lead. If they continue threatening down that side, we could get 2 or 3 goals, because they both can create and they both can score if they need to as well. You know, the centre of midfield, I think that just a fraction is in Sheffield United's sort of favour. They've got 3 players in there, Peck, Matos and O'Hare, who are very, very clever players. You know, I think down the right-hand side, the Sheffield United left-hand side, that's even Steven. This is a good game to watch, interesting game, a different style of play from Town.
Full second half commentary to come on BBC Radio Suffolk, but at the interval, Ipswich Town lead Sheffield United by 1-0.
Well, your thoughts on that different style of play for Ipswich Town? Most welcome after that first half. 81333 if you want to drop us a text. 08000 321 333 on WhatsApp. Start your messages with SFK. We'll be back with Mick Mills and Brenna Woolley for the second half live. During our half-time break, we are going to hear from 3 members of the Ipswich Witches team after a remarkable night for the Suffolk Speedway side last night, beating the reigning Premiership champions Bellevue at Foxhall to make it through to this season's Premiership playoff final. They're up next.
Here at BBC Radio Suffolk, we are excited.
I'm giddy with excitement.
Why is Sarah so giddy? Well, we know how busy life can get.
And if you're busy, perhaps in the shower at the moment,
we have a new way of you contacting us.
You don't even have to lift a finger to get in touch. You can literally just order your smart speaker about.
BBC Sounds, send a comment, and it'll come to us.
Mandy's been in touch just to say love the show, but she's done it via her smart speaker.
Yay!
So it is literally that easy.
If you're listening to BBC Radio Suffolk on a smart speaker, and this works with most smart speakers, ask BBC Sounds to send a comment.
Ipswich Town 1, Sheffield United 0 in our main feature tonight in match night at half-time. Jayden Philogene with the only goal of the game so far. Well taken finish on 20 minutes. Like I say, second half coming up very shortly. Elsewhere tonight, 2 matches in the WSL. Manchester City have not long equalised against Brighton. It's 1-1 there. And the Champions League holders Arsenal are 2-1 up away at West Ham United. Arsenal have started the season well. Ipswich Town women in action this coming Sunday. They'll play their first ever fixture at their new home, the Community Stadium in Colchester. Nottingham Forest, their opponents in WSL2. We heard from Paige Peake earlier in match night. If we've time before we're off air at 11, we'll bring you a few words from manager Joe Sheehan as well. Could a first top flight league title since 1998 becoming the way of Ipswich Speedway? The Witches are through to this year's Premiership playoff final after a brilliant display at Foxhall Stadium last night. They thrashed the reigning champions Bellevue by 59 points to 31 to comfortably overturn a 6-point first leg deficit and set up a grand finale against either Sheffield or Leicester. We'll hear from one of last night's star performers, Dan Thompson, and team manager Richie Hawkins in a moment. But first, here's a proud captain, Danny King, with Stephen Foster.
Yeah, absolutely. We wanted that tonight. We've got to be happy with how we went at Bellevue. To keep it within 6, I think, is ideal. That's the number in my head. If you're going to go away first, it'd have been nice to get the win, obviously. But after the meeting against Sheffield last week, we knew we had to bounce back strong this week, and we've showed that.
But a difficult track, I'd have thought, to contend with.
Yeah, again, hats off to the track staff. It took a lot of rain in a short amount of time this afternoon, and you have to give them credit for that, because we got the meeting on and it was a good meeting.
So as captain, how does it feel now to be reaching the grand final?
It's a great feeling. It's been a long season, it really has, but obviously this is the ultimate goal. We've done the hard work, we're there now, 2 more meetings to go, and we're going to be giving it our all, that's for sure.
Are you bothered who you meet in the final, Sheffield or Leicester?
No, not at all either. I think they're both pretty similar in terms of strength. They both ride our place well, and we ride their places quite well as well. So we'll sit back and we'll watch the playoffs next week, and we'll be ready for whatever it is.
That must be a nice feeling, sitting back watching the other playoff.
Yeah, I guess so. I think it is nice to go first. I don't know. We'll see. It's going to be interesting, but as I say, either's fine with me.
Great night tonight, fantastic turnout from the crowd, and a wonderful atmosphere which must help the riders.
Yeah, it's huge. You know, we could hear the fans all night, and as soon as we got our noses in front on aggregate, they were just getting louder and louder, and they cheered us home. It's amazing. We've got great support here. We always have, and we're going to do our best to bring that trophy home for them.
It's been a long old season. It's been a great season. I'm very pleased for you all. Look forward to a fortnight's time.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Foz.
Richie, congratulations. A wonderful night.
Yeah, it was a great night. Yeah, always brilliant to perform like that, and then obviously make a final and another final, another shot at getting that big prize we've been working so hard for years. Real proud of the boys. They really stepped it up, and that was the best performance we've had at home for months. So yeah, great to see when they needed it.
You blew the champions away. No doubt about that whatsoever.
Yeah. Well, I suppose they had a good heat one, and then they can obviously get our heads down. I think it was a tough toss to lose, really. But we got through that first part of the meeting when we had the worst gates. Like, we got through that well, and then we obviously turned it on, and obviously it's hard then for them as well, where they know they can't get through. It's hard for them to keep motivated. I know we've done it in the past, and so that maybe exaggerated the scoreline a little bit, but really pleased with the boys.
Every rider came to the party tonight.
Yes, and I mean, Dan has really struggled for the last few weeks, and the difference he made, I think it's been clear to us. We know we were so good at the start of the year because he was so good, and then we was probably so good tonight because he was so good. So
okay, Richie, thank you very much.
Cheers, Mark.
Chatting now to Dan Thompson. Dan, well done. A great night for the team. Great night for you.
Yeah, much better. It's no secret my form around Vauxhall's been pretty dipped over the last few weeks, and the track was tricky, but I got stuck in and enjoyed a few better rides than I have been getting.
It seems a bit churlish to talk about your lack of form in recent times here, but what are you putting that down to?
Not sure. I wouldn't say I've been low on confidence. I don't really suffer with that. It's just genuinely haven't been riding very well around here, but I got stuck in tonight, made some good starts, and put myself about.
It was a fantastic performance by the whole team, and you must be doubly pleased then, given what's been happening to you in recent weeks.
Yeah, well, I think we were very confident we could do it. There wasn't much doubt in our minds. And the track threw a challenge at us. It wasn't what we normally how we prep it, but we all dug in and pulled away quite comfortably in the end.
I was going to say, many people may be surprised just how big a win it was tonight.
Yeah, it's all the teams in the playoffs are top teams. They're there for a reason, but we don't underestimate anyone, and we did the job. I think that sends a statement out to whoever's coming to get us in the final.
Tell us your thoughts about that. Sheffield or Leicester, does it make any difference?
No difference. We've been here before. We know what grand final's all about, and in many people's eyes we should have won 1, 2, maybe more titles, cups in the last few years, and we've missed out on them for one reason or another. But we've got the full team now, and we feel confident going into what's ahead. Yeah,
the lack of a victory in the top flight, winning the title since 1998, that was the last time they won, has weighed pretty heavily on shoulders here, but you get the feeling at the moment that could all be about to end.
Yeah, well, obviously I've been here about 3 years now, and each season by midsummer I think this is quite comfortable. I think we're going to get a league title under our belt, and it's just gone wrong right at the end. So if we can all keep doing it and put in a performance like tonight, then I think we can lift the cup.
Well, you've certainly bounced back to your very best form, Dan, at the right time, I hasten to add.
Yeah, it's no better time to perform than the playoffs. We all want to do well, but the playoffs is a special time, and to put a performance like that in was great for myself, and the whole team was awesome as well.
And you could watch the other semi-final next week. Comfort in the knowledge that you're going to be facing one of those teams here at Vauxhall, and indeed obviously at their place.
Yeah, as I said, we're not bothered about who we get. Obviously Sheffield come last week and enjoyed our place, but we ride their place equally as good. So we're ready for what the final will bring, and yeah, we're looking forward to it.
Thank you very much indeed, Dan. Well done. Enjoy the celebrations.
Thank you.
Ipswich Speedway rider Dan Thompson, team manager Richie Hawkins and captain Danny King speaking with Stephen Foster after the Witches made it through to the Premiership playoff final with that magnificent victory over Bellevue last night. Sheffield face Leicester over 2 legs in the other semi-final next week, and then the playoff grand final, which Ipswich Witches will be involved in, follows a week later. Ipswich Town 1, Sheffield United 0 in our main feature in match night tonight. Trevor says, would like a bit more possession, but Sheffield United haven't really threatened. The Philogene goal settled us. We are winning. Let's see this out. Stephen and Kerry from Brandon say that was a lot better. Much more control on the ball. It was going to be difficult against the Sheffield United side with only 1 goal so far this season, but experience on the bench just might kill this game off. The second half is next.
Here come Ipswich Town. Wow, what a start to this game. Hurst to Akpom. Philogene far side, 0-0 under the lights at Portman Road. Philogene into the Sheffield United area. Inside the second minute, still Jaden Philogene goes to ground, shoots, but it's straight at the man in yellow. Cooper. Wow, that was breathless. Davis on the left, chance to tee up a cross, and it comes to this end towards Hurst. Surely a goal! Oh, Akpom's missed it from 2 yards out. Just the bounce must have deceived him, but when it came in from the left, it looked like it had to be an opening goal for Ipswich Town. So close to the first goal of this game. Early ball forward to the left-hand side. Philogene, beautifully controlled. Philogene inside the United area. Jaden Philogene for Ipswich Town. Saved by Cooper on his near post. Intercepted by United, but it might go through to Philogene. Can Ipswich Town make the most of this opportunity? Philogene inside the United area. Still Jaden Philogene! And it's low into the corner of the net! And Philogene gives Ipswich Town the lead after 20 minutes. It was unlucky from United's perspective, but boy, did Town make the most of that opportunity and they lead.
They do, and the second half is about to get underway at Portman Road. Let's rejoin Mick Mills and first Brenner Woolley.
Doesn't look to be any half-time changes from either side. Town in blue, white, blue will be kicking off against the red and white stripes of Sheffield United. Town going from right to left with Palmer in goal. The back four, Furlong, O'Shea, the captain, Greaves and Davis. And Matthew Seward with Kiyuste in midfield. The three of McAteer, Akpom and the goal scorer, Philogene. Hurst up top. On the bench, Walton, Clark, that's Jack, Taylor, Azon, Kipre, Nunez, Schmoddix, Eggerly and Johnson. Cooper is in the goal off to our left for the visitors. Then a back four of Godfrey, Tanganga, McGuinness and Burrows, Peck and Matos in midfield, and the three of Brooks, O'Hare and Barry. Cannon is the central striker for them. On the bench, Davis, McCallum, Harmer, Mee, Sumare, Campbell, Chong, One and Sarika. Surely only a matter of time before United make changes from the bench with Harmer and Campbell, the obvious alterations if things stay as they are for too much longer. Long kick forward by O'Shea, but it is indeed the same 22 that started this 8 o'clock kick-off on BBC Radio Suffolk Sport. Town lead 1-0. Greaves forward, headed on by Hurst. Should go all the way back to Cooper. Gets the hair out of Akpom. And what we don't want to see is Ipswich Town letting off. They have kind of their performance levels have dropped a bit in the second half. So it's been a bit of a feature for a while now. It certainly happened against Derby last time out when they found themselves 2-1 behind for a fair old while. That's not what we want to see here tonight, thanks to this man Philogene. They lead 1-0. He's chasing around near side. Godfrey gets the better of him. Infield to Cannon. There is Peck. So Ruben Sellers must have been relatively happy with the performance he got from his team in the first half to have not made any changes at the break. Up towards O'Hare. Now it's with Burrows. Never fully got in control of the ball. Got a bit of help from Barry to get it back to McGuinness. He stepped in there to O'Hare. McGuinness, one touch to the far side. Burrows trying to get towards those Sheffield United fans in the right-hand upper tier third of the cobbled stand. United with a quickly taken through, blocked off by O'Shea. Cleared up away from Ipswich Town's perspective, not too far. Matos is on it. Good strong challenge by Matthew Seward. Both sides giving the ball away on the far side. A little bit messy and rapid. In goes Matthew Seward. Peck takes it away from Kiyuste. Good play from Peck, finding O'Hare. O'Hare's effort goes wide. Palmer has it covered. It's a goal kick to him.
That was a messy bit of play over on the far side there. The Town sort of right-hand side. They were just giving the ball to each other and nobody could do anything with it, and then ends up half-hearted shot from about 20-25 yards.
Town playing it short from the back, but Palmer eventually will go long, given the target of Hurst. Up goes McGuinness. It's over the top of him and Hurst. Tanganga covering in behind, spoons it back towards Cooper. Cooper clips it away on the half volley towards the halfway line, headed on by Barry, but to Dara O'Shea. Paul Cook signing on loan back in the day, Louis Barry. Now it's with Leif Davis, Jacob Greaves, and now with Alex Palmer. Matthew Seawer almost sells Greaves short, goes in on a 50-50, and he's come off the worst for that, holding his left ankle, Jacob Greaves. And flying went Matos, and he certainly felt that challenge, the former Hull player, but he's going to be okay, I think.
It's a bad ball by Matasiua. It just didn't sort of get to the target quickly enough. You know, had a lack of pace on it. Just gave the Sheffield United player a little bit of confidence to go and sort of deal with it. And Jacob Greaves comes off worse.
Percentage-wise in that first half, 47% for Ipswich Town, 53 Sheffield United. Town with 7 efforts, 5 of them on target. United had 5 efforts on goal, but none of them actually on target. Matasiua put his head down, it's been caught. Matos is certainly not giving him any sympathy, telling him to get on with things. Matasiua was certainly caught in his face. And the referee is calling on the Ipswich Town physios from underneath us.
Yeah, he was definitely caught. You know, it was a little bit, again, a little bit of untidy play by Ipswich on this occasion. Sheffield United have started the second half a little bit untidy as well. So the game hasn't sort of, you know, swung into a really good sort of event like it did in the first half. We had 3 or 4 sweeping attacks in the first couple of minutes in the first half. This one, the second half has started off a bit messy.
Town with just 4 promotion winners in their 20-man squad tonight. One of those, Christian Walton. Of course, they're on this run of 9 defeats and 2 draws in their last 11 here since that win against Chelsea just after Christmas. The longest winless run at the moment for 16 years. As Palmer gets the ball from O'Shea, then passes it forward, but only towards Burrows. Burrows has made a mess of that, almost been too casual against McIntyre. Eventually gets away with it, Burrows. Gets the centre spot, then leaves it for Peck. Peck rolls it into the path of McGuinness. Still on the halfway, he gives it back to Peck, who'll go square to Tanganga. Matthew Seawer still waiting to come on down below us, so Town a man light. Crossfield again from Tanganga. Did that a few times in the first half. Furlong heads it away for Ipswich Town. Quite quiet inside Portman Road at the moment as Peck gives it to O'Hare. That's their last 6 games in all competitions, Sheffield United. Their last 3 by this scoreline, 1-0. Only scored 1 goal so far in the league this season. 1 in the League Cup, 1 in the league, and both of those players, Harmer and Campbell, remain on the bench down below us. Matos to Peck, too heavy a touch, allowed Akpom to go in there. Headed by Hurst to Akpom. Akpom in the centre circle. Back to Hurst, the pair of them linking up. Hurst to Philogene down the left-hand side. Town attacking early in the second half. Philogene edge of the area on his right-hand side will have a go and score a superb goal. This is the Jayden Philogene show at Portman Road tonight. Scored in the first half, a good goal. Scored an even better one just now in the second. And Ipswich Town leads Sheffield United 2-0 with smiles all round.
Well, Philogene has certainly got his shooting boots on tonight. That, again, is another beautiful goal. But again, I can't give him enough credit. Leif Davis, if Leif Davis does not make that strong run forward, Philogene hasn't got anywhere near the freedom to come inside and have a shot. And that's what football's all about. It's a team game. You have to help each other. And Philogene and Leif Davis are doing that time and time again tonight.
Confirmation on the PA. That Philogene, like he did at Old Trafford last season, has now got 2 goals in this particular match to give Ipswich Town a bit of daylight. Didn't manage to get the second goal against Derby early on in that second half, but they have managed it tonight. And things looking good for them. Surely Sellers has to look towards his bench sometime soon. Hit forward by Burrows. I didn't learn their lesson, letting him come in on his right-hand side. throw in from Godfrey, finding Peck. Peck tries to turn away from a couple of Town players. Town lose it. O'Hare has the ball for United to Cannon, now to Peck outside the area. Lots of blue shirts back. Matussi was the latest one. He finds Kayuste. Now what can Town do on the break? They've been dangerous all night doing this. Kayuste ran into traffic, free kick for the block on him by Matos. Donald O'Shea's not happy about something that happened earlier.
It was a deliberate body check there. We had another sweeping attack in progress there. It only required one more pass and we were going to be probably in the end, not immediately, we would have ended up having another strike at goal because it was a real good breakaway. Deliberate body check, and it's a free kick to Town.
Kayuste goes back towards his goalkeeper Palmer, controls the ball just outside of his area. So far so good for Ipswich Town here tonight. Trying to extend that stranglehold they've got over United on this ground. Good play from Akpom, then is he tripped from behind by McGuinness? Yes he is. He complains about that free kick. Had to rub salt in that particular wound. McGuinness now gets a yellow card on his United debut.
Yeah, that's fair enough. He's got caught there on the beautiful twist and turn, and he's got caught. He was away and he's pulled him down, so you know it's really maybe about time the referee took some action really.
Town can get themselves at some stage to 3-0 with, I don't know, 15-20 minutes to go. It'd be a nice game for Sindrawalla Eggerly to make his first steps in English football in, or Marcelino Nunez to come off the bench as well and show what they can do. Hopefully see the victory over the line, but still work to be done at the moment though. Still a while to go. Davis with the ball into the box, headed centrally by Kayuste. Akpom goes after it, can't do enough for the ball, appeals for the corner kick, and Ipswich Town do finally get their first corner kick of the evening.
Yep, you know, and we haven't really needed them, so it'd be interesting to see if we can do something from this. You know, this is a great position to be in, 2-0 shortly after half-time, and we look as if we're enjoying it now.
Corner kick, which man of the moment, Jaden Philogene, is on. The double goal scorer tonight. What can he do in terms of creativity off to our left-hand side? Town got plenty players forward. 8 inside the penalty area for this Philogene corner, deep to the far stick, headed centrally. United might get it away, touched down and out behind by McAteer in the end. It's a Sheffield United goal kick. Town have got a man down inside the 6-yard area off to our left. It could be Jens Kayuste, who's in quite a bit of pain as Chuba Akpom and Jaden Philogene go to check on him. I mentioned Marcelino Nunez, and he's immediately sent off the bench for a sprint on this near side. Good atmosphere inside Portman Road. The majority clearly desperate to see Ipswich Town go on and win this game. It's been way too long since that victory over Chelsea, even since the Bristol Rovers won in the Cup at the turn of the year. Yeah, it's Jens Kayuste who's sitting up and getting really some treatment.
I think he was just, he maybe needed a minute. When the treatment boys arrived, he was almost ready to carry on, you know, so they're now just going through the motions to just let the referee think that this was a serious
Town back in action next Saturday up at Blackburn. Next game here 2 weeks tomorrow is the visit of Portsmouth. Connor Chaplin and co, although of course like Chirag Benny won't be able to feature in that game. Then Town go to Bristol City for a Tuesday night match at Ashton Gate, and then Norwich come here for the first game of October before Middlesbrough after the international break. That's another Friday night game up at the Riverside, and Charlton at home. Fascinating run of fixtures. Hopefully Town heading to Ewood Park with 6 points on the championship table. So far so good here tonight with 4 minutes to go until the hour mark. Goals in both half from Jaden Philogene, the difference between these two sides. Down the line, Godfrey gives it to Brooks. Brooks coming in field, goes back to the centre circle, and McGuinness. Forward from Burrows. Sheffield United supporters must be bewildered the way this game's gone in terms of still no Harmer, still no Campbell. No reason to cheer for the first time tonight when those two appear. Still as they were at 8 o'clock though, United. Peck finds Tanganga. Trip by Hurst. Free kick on halfway to Sheffield United. Nobody's overly keen to take it. Just suit Ipswich Town. 12 minutes gone in the second half, live on BBC Radio Suffolk. We're on at 11 tonight. If you want to have your say, call 0800 141 2121. You can text 81333, start this message as SFK, or WhatsApp 08000 321 333. Again, put SFK at the start of those messages. Burrows with a diagonal free kick forward, headed on by McGuinness, dealt with by McAteer in and around the right back area, over in the far right corner, clears it up to McGuinness's header. McGuinness heads it down to O'Hare, back towards Peck to O'Hare. Now it's with Matos. United having plenty of the ball. Town happy for them to have it in the middle third as well. O'Hare to Peck, in goes Kiyuste. Town win the ball back. Kiyuste's popped header forward, hit up by Peck towards Cannon. Cannon heads it down to Brooks. Phil McKenna glances back towards his bench. There is Godfrey, a loan that just didn't work out from at Portman Road last season. It's going to make a change. Could be a debut for Marcelino Nunez, almost certain to be. Peck to the left-hand side. Here come Sheffield United outside the Ipswich area. Town have lots of bodies back. Well defended again from the men in blue. Kiyuste coming off, no doubt, one would have thought. Peck wins it for United down the left side of the Ipswich area, into the box, shot from Cannon, saved by Parker on his near post. It was a really sharp effort from Cannon, and Palmer was equal to it.
Yeah, it was very good play. The build-up was good. You know, they very much in control of it, and then the shot was quick. It was snappy. Palmer had to really get down quickly to deal with it.
Palmer finally coming on, so too Campbell. The two obvious changes for United are about to happen. Good save that from Palmer. Snapshot from Cannon. Corner kick for United, headed away by Ipswich Town. Glancing header down by Philogene. O'Hare helps it on its way back out to the far side, and Burrows, who took the set piece. O'Hare underneath United fans, infield to Burrows, now edge of the area. Barry tries to turn away, blocked off by McAteer. United still have it with Brooks outside the Ipswich area. Tepid cross, headed away by Matusiwa. One back by Brooks on halfway ahead of Akpom. He gets it back to his keeper. Triple change coming for United. Chong, former Manchester United and Luton midfielder, coming on as well. Needs must for the Blades. We're going to get the final half hour. So, approaching the hour mark on BBC Radio Suffolk. The other way to get in touch is ahead of the Blue Hour show on Monday night between 6 and 7. Brenner at bbc.co.uk is the email. Forward from McGuinness, headed back by Furlong to his goal. Yeah, BRENNER at bbc.co.uk. I look forward to getting your thoughts on all things Ipswich Town between 6 and 7 on Monday, when we'll hopefully be celebrating a Jayden Philogene-inspired victory for Ipswich Town.
Yeah, we've got to really sort of stamp our authority on this game now. This is an excellent position to be in, and now we've reached the hour mark. We're 2 in front. We've got to believe.
Philogene trying to put it in behind. It might break to Hurst inside the area. Hurst got a chance, blocked off by the goalkeeper. Hurst still has it inside the United area. Shoots, and it's in! It sneaked it into the near post from George Hurst. Ipswich Town leads Sheffield United by 3-0, and surely Town are heading towards their first league win of the championship season, their first 3 points at Portman Road in 2025.
Yeah, I was just really trying to say that, you know, with being 2 goals up on the hour mark, you've got to believe the opposition have got an absolute mountain to climb, and you've got to really stamp your authority on it. You've got to really try and kill the game now. And we forced Sheffield United into a mistake. That's all we needed to do. Hurst seizes upon it, and in the end gets really, really lucky the fact it goes through the goalkeeper's legs. But that should be home and dry now. You know, really, all it needs is a professional performance from here to the end of the game.
It will be unbearable if they don't win this game. Ipswich Town from 3-0 up against the side bottom of the table with no points. It really would be unforgivable, and it's probably, hopefully, going to be too little too late as United make a triple substitution. Harmer is the first player to come on. Sumari, who's a young midfielder, is the second. Already Matos, Cannon and Barry have gone off. I think Andre Brooks is looking to see if he's going to go off as well. Chong and Campbell are also coming on for Sheffield United. And then those changes that I talked about being imminent for Ipswich Town, or Nunez I talked about. Schmodix is also come on. Yeah, Brooks has gone off for United. So Marcelino Nunez, the Chilean international, formerly of Norwich City, is about to make his Ipswich Town debut in place of Jens Kiyuste. The other player going off is Chuba Akpom, to be replaced by Sam Schmodix. Don't know who the last player to score in a season for both Norwich and Ipswich Town was, but Nunez will be hoping to do that. He scored in the League Cup for the Canaries before he headed down the A140. Nice game to come into. I mentioned earlier on, if Town could get to 3-0, it'd be lovely to see Nunez or Eggerly. I'm sure we'll see the Norwegian at some stage, possibly for George Hurst or maybe McAteer as things progress. Philogene will be mighty relieved to still be out there and looking for a hat-trick goal. Town lead 3-0 against Sheffield United. Tanganga almost robbed by Hurst. Back the ball goes to Cooper. What a miserable night for those Sheffield United fans that have made the 3-hour-plus journey down from South Yorkshire for this one. Davis down the line to Greaves. Greaves in behind for Hurst. A chance for his second goal. Hurst makes it 4-0. No, flag's gone up. It won't count. Didn't look much wrong with that at all. But it's still 3.
Yeah, he enjoyed that. Shame it's been disallowed. You know, that would have been, I mean, that was a good strike to go in, but he's marginally offside. Not much, but he's off. He's a couple of feet off, that's all.
Yeah, very close. Still 3-0. We'll take that. Live on BBC Radio Suffolk Sport. Here is Nunez. O'Hare wins the ball. Comes off of Campbell, son of the late Kevin Campbell Tyrese. A lot of goals last season, 11 last season for United. United goes back. Ball goes back to Harmer. The Dutchman gives it to O'Hare. Here is Peck. In theory, Sheffield United should be stronger than the team that started this game with Harmer and Campbell out there. But there's only so much they can do, and time's against them. Harmer to O'Hare, clever ball. Peck inside the area. Peck tries to go square, blocked up by Majisiwa. Excellent from the Dutchman. Back it goes to O'Hare. Now Harmer, right-footed ball into the Ipswich area, headed away by Furlong towards Tanganga. Wouldn't rule out the possibility of seeing more goals in this game. Well done by Peck. It's going to try to work its way through there to Burrows, the ball, but couldn't quite work out. Now Sumare wants to get it away from Schmodix, plays it back towards Cooper. Hurst's gone after this one. Tanganga slightly held on to. Cooper clears out on the far side for a throw-in. He's really put his neck on the block, Ruben Sellers, with the team selection and then subsequent scoreline. Town throw. That's right on cue, the Sky TV camera zoom in on the Spaniard. Furlong with a throw back to O'Shea. Now Palmer. Now it's the miserable Sheffield United fans that have been picked up on screen in front of us. Philogene, lovely play from Philogene. Flying with confidence and belief in himself tonight, and quite rightly so. Davis down the left-hand side, gives it back to Philogene inside the box, tormenting the Blades. Philogene still has the ball. Comes in field, still Jaden Philogene. Has he gone down? He's gone down, but the referee said no penalty kick. But wow, he's having one of those nights.
It wasn't really far away, I don't think.
No, it wasn't, was it?
No.
Town looking for a 4th goal. Certainly not resting on their laurels. Furlong back to O'Shea. This is just what the doctor ordered. O'Shea closed down by O'Hare, gets away from him, goes square to Greaves, who played Hurst in beautifully for that goal that wasn't a few moments ago. Philogene brought down by Godfrey. Goes to pick up his former teammate. Nunez takes the free kick quickly, gives it to Philogene down this left-hand side. Into the middle it comes to Nunez. To Furlong. out to the right. Town have the ball with McAteer. Furlong again, back to Casey McAteer, infield to Matasiwa, edge of the box, now to the right hand side, Smodics into the middle with a good cross. It beats a lot of players, but sadly not the gloves of Cooper.
Yeah, it was a good cross. It's just a little bit close to the goalkeeper, but you know, you can often get somebody that will just get on the end of that. That ball's only sort of about 5 yards from the goalkeeper, so you know, there's every chance that you can attack that sort of space.
Tanganga gives it away. Nunez gets on the ball, the number 32. Lovely change of direction. Then he looks for Hurst. He was unlucky. Ipswich almost win it back. Now they do. Philogene on 2 goals, trying for his hat-trick. Oh, what a hat-trick! What a hit that was from Jaden Philogene! An unbelievable night for him. A treble in the championship for Jaden Philogene. 2 off his right foot, and then a thunderous left foot effort which left Cooper grasping at air, and it's 4-0 Ipswich Town.
Well, I was right behind it, and unless that took a slight deflection or some air came out of the ball, I don't know what it was, but it was like, wow, it was just moving in the air 2 or 3 different directions. But the lad has got 3 goals, he's played well, and his partner has backed him up all the time.
There you go, confirmation that Jaden Philogene will be walking off with the match ball at the end of this one. All 3.
Well, that's definitely his goal, without question, you know, but it moved and swerved in the air 2 different directions.
Back towards Cooper. Of course, it could have been 5 had Hurst not been narrowly offside a few moments ago. Wow, well, Ipswich Town season has fully fired into life. Terrific night for them. What this means for Ruben Sellers' future, only time will tell. But you get the impression with 21 minutes to go, it could get worse for Sheffield United. Ipswich Town have certainly won for the first time here in the league this calendar year. They're certainly moving from 3 points to 6 with this victory. 4-0. There is O'Shea. Sheffield United's misery in this part of the world continues. Forward from Furlong up towards Hurst. You get sacked in the morning is the chant. Nunez out to the left-hand side, and Philogene. Davis has gone on an overlap. Davis has got the ball wide left. Pull back into the area towards Smodics. Still to score at Portman Road for Ipswich Town, remember Smodics. Philogene, crowd telling him to shoot. He gives it to Smodics inside the area. He goes square, cleared away as far as Chong. Chong closed down by Davis. Out it goes. And this is much more like it from Ipswich Town.
Well, Sheffield United just can't handle our left-hand side. They really can't. We've got Philogene who's on fire. We've got Davis who's backing him up all the time, and he's a very, very willing runner behind him. They've been excellent, that pair.
Another change for Ipswich Town. And this is a landmark one. Sindre Waller Egeli, 19-year-old Norwegian talent. Most money ever paid by a championship club for a player. Makes his Ipswich Town debut, replacing Casey McAteer. Also coming on is Ivan Azon. He's replacing George Hurst. And the hero from a couple of weeks, Jack Clark, is also coming off the bench as well. Things could get even more exciting with Nunez and Egeli out there. Standing ovation, thoroughly deserved for Jaden Philogene, Ipswich Town's hat-trick hero. Big smile on his face and laughing at something Kieran McKenna's just said to him. He'll be really chuffed because he got a lot of stick, a lot of it way over the top, Philogene, last season. But wow, he's rubbed a few people's noses in it tonight with that terrific treble. 2 right-footers either side of half-time, and then a thunderous left, completing a first hat-trick for Ipswich Town player for 2.5 years. Last one was Connor Chaplin against Charlton back in April of 23. Chested down on this near side. Here is Nunez running into traffic. Clark goes back towards Reeves. His last hat-trick at this level, probably Daryl Murphy, one would have thought. Up to the halfway line is O'Shea, given away. One back by Burrows after a 50-50 against Smodix. Live on BBC Radio Suffolk. Ipswich Town leading Sheffield United by 4 goals to 0. I think even the most optimistic of Ipswich Town fans believe this might be the scoreline. Long it goes for Campbell to give chase. O'Shea is there first. That back unit will be desperate to hold on to that clean sheet, as O'Shea is nudged to the floor by Campbell. Harmer has this throw in for Sheffield United. Still 18 minutes to go. Won by Eggerly, and it goes far side. Scored for Norway's under-21s in the international break. He played centrally as a striker. He's gone across the right-hand side tonight because Azon is up top. Oh, Campbell inside the Ipswich area, goes square, cleared away by the right footer Davis. Harmer shoots deflected wide. Corner kick to United.
Yeah, it's funny really. I suppose you could say that we've sort of come out of our sort of shell tonight, and this is the result we've badly needed, but you just feel that Sheffield United are continuing where they were before this game started. That's a team that's playing better than the results suggest. They haven't been bad tonight, but they're being thrashed as far as the scoreline is concerned.
Yeah, Town clinical. 17 to go at Portman Road. A smiley Portman Road. In comes the corner kick from Harmer, headed away by O'Shea from under his crossbar. Nodded on by Eggerly, who's quite a tall player. Clark's done well to feed Smodix. Smodix forward towards Azon on this left-hand side. Back comes Chong. Azon holds the ball up, still has it. Clark's running on. He's given it to Clark inside the area. Good link-up play between the two subs. Here's another Nunez. Nunez crosses into the box. Smodix sits it into the middle, but it's smothered on his near post by Cooper. That was a chance for the Republic of Ireland international.
Well, we've made a number of changes and we're still doing the same thing, you know, defending, and then away we go on the counter-attack. It's quick, it's precise, and it's fast. You know, that's what you need to do if you are going to be a counter-acting team.
Here is the goalkeeper, Cooper. Plays it out on this near side for a throw-in. 11 out there is so new look as far as Ipswich Town are concerned. The man about to throw the ball in is the only promotion winner out there for Ipswich Town, Leif Davis. Everybody else has arrived since last summer. Azon, a recent arrival with a header on, looking for Smodix. Closed down Smodix against McGuinness. We'll be looking forward to next Saturday, for obvious reasons, Sam Smodix when Ipswich Town are at Blackburn. Alex Matthew will be alongside me at Ewood Park. 28,012 the attendance here tonight at Portman Road. Majority getting good value for money, good Friday night entertainment. There is Harmer up against Eggerly. Harmer dinks the ball forward nicely to Burrows wide left, edge of the Ipswich Town area, now inside the box, tries to play it square into the middle, dealt with by Greaves, comes back almost to O'Hare. Here go United, nice play by Harmer on the left-hand side up against Furlong. Gives it back towards Burrows. Burrows' cross is met by Greaves, glancing it away. Clark's on a chase, loses out to Godfrey. Godfrey holds off Clark, he still has the ball. Clark has a nibble at him, Godfrey's too strong. Here comes his powerless cross, cleared away by Greaves for a throw to Sheffield United. We're into the final quarter of an hour. This will make the rest of the championship sit up and take notice about Ipswich Town finally getting themselves up and running. United staying firmly rooted to the bottom of the table. The only team in all 3 divisions of the Football League without a single point this season, Sheffield United. Kicked forward by Cooper, headed by Davis, chested down by Clark. Samare gets onto it for United. Little layoff from Campbell. O'Hare centrally outside the Ipswich area. Has a runner into the box, gives it to Harmer. Obviously a danger. His cross goes straight into the hands of Harmer. Well held by the Town number 1.
Well, they woefully need something at the top end of their pitch. They really do.
Davis round the back for Azon. Cooper's out of his area. He clears away from the onrushing Spaniard. Nunez with a header. Finds Clark. Clark gives the ball to Furlong. Incidentally, no Ashley Young at all anywhere for Ipswich Town tonight. Saw him down there at half-time. It's only when it struck me that he wasn't even on the bench tonight, the 40-year-old. Eggerly on his Ipswich Town debut, gets to the edge of the box, tries to find Smodix. Wasn't a good enough ball. Burrows brings it away, looks forward towards Campbell. So easy for Greaves to deal with. Little cushion header down for O'Shea. Now it's with Matthew Seawer up against Peck towards Furlong. Nice debut for Furlong, this one. Goes back towards Palmer. Now O'Shea to Nunez, sitting deep, gives it to Clark. Clark gives it back to the Chilean. Nunez over the top, looking for the run of Azon. Looks to have stayed on side, but the swing of the ball has helped out Chong. Chong clears to the halfway line. Nodded down by Nunez. There is Greaves. Pings it off of Nunez, up to the chest of Clark, back to Nunez. Nice from Ipswich Town. Matthew Seawer available to Smodix, who'll then go back to Furlong. Crowd applauding that, as you can hear. Eggerly down the right-hand side, has Smodix next to him, gives it to Smodix. Smodix's first-time cross, just behind Azon. Sumare brings it away for Sheffield United. One back by Matthew Seawer. Here is Eggerly, has a go. Hits Tanganga, comes onto the chest of Clark. Clark in for 5! It's 5-0 Ipswich Town! What a night this has been live on BBC Radio Suffolk. Ipswich Town absolutely cruising to their first win of the season, and the world is all of a sudden a much happier place.
Yeah, they've just really they've just become too sharp, too good, too quick for Sheffield United. They really have. They're absolutely punishing them now. But just trying to sort of think of something to say. I'm just looking, something to do. I'm looking at Nunez and I'm just thinking he's probably quicker, better, more decisive than the central pair that we started with. He actually has started very, very well.
Yeah, I think
he's sharp. He's thinking ahead of himself all the time. So you just it's an interesting just first view of him. He's very, very quick with his feet.
Yeah, I was thinking that as well. I've really liked what I've seen of him so far. I know it's a nice game to come into, but he's a quality footballer. It's going to be interesting to see what Kieran McKenna does when everyone's fit in terms of the midfield, or whether he changes things up again and goes with the three of them on occasions, perhaps. What a three that looks. Greaves' attempted pass forwards cut out. Peck, 5-0 Ipswich Town lead on BBC Radio Suffolk. Here come United, still showing some spirit. Burrows down the left-hand side. In comes his cross looking at Campbell. Headed away by Greaves, and then clouted forward on the far side by Furlong. Kept in play by McGuinness, and we've still got 10 minutes plus added on time to go in this match, as again the rather forlorn, sombre expression of Ruben Salas is caught on the TV cameras.
Yeah, I think the poor old boy will be quite worried, Ruben Salas, really. He's had an awful start. The team hasn't apparently played that badly, but the start isn't what you want when you go to a new club, and this one, to have this type of result on top of what you've already had, is a killer.
The next two are Charlton at home and Oxford away. They have to win one of those, surely. If that's enough. Ball out on the far side for a throw-in to Ipswich Town, sliced out of play by Burrows. Town not in a great hurry to throw the ball, get the ball in play far side. Remember those numbers to get in touch with us post-match on BBC Radio Suffolk. You can call 0800 141 2121. You can text 81333, start those SFK, or WhatsApp 08000 321 333, also start those SFK, or email me brenner@bbc.co.uk ahead of the Blue Hour on Mondays. That's 2 and 2 for Jack Clark, who's trying to win the ball against Chong. He's done it. Well done, Clark. Really good. Still has it for Ipswich Town. Nunez heads it to Davis. Sawiki, an attacking wing-back's about to come on for Sheffield United. Nunez still has it. Gives it to Smodix. Smodix from outside the area. Gives it to Eggerly inside the box. Can Town get a sixth goal? Eggerly shoots. Hits off the back of McGuinness. Had it not. Wow, that could have been very, very interesting on debut for the Norwegian.
Yeah, he's come in nicely on his left foot from the right-hand side, and I would hazard a guess that was definitely going to hit the target if it hadn't have hit a Sheffield United player.
Cross goes Leif Davis, to the adoration of the Town fans over in the far left corner, the joint between the north stand and the cobbled stand. Getting ready to take this corner kick. Town's second of the night with, just 8 and a bit minutes to play of normal time. There certainly won't be 13 added on tonight, for which Sheffield United will be grateful. In comes a corner kick towards the far stick. O'Shea challenges. It's come off him last, says the referee. Goal kick to Sheffield United, and they can make that change with Sariki coming on for Godfrey. Going on this right-hand side. Brief embrace between the two of them. Handshake for Godfrey from his manager. Cooper getting ready with this goal kick for totally battered and bruised Sheffield United. A few Town fans heading off to the pub to celebrate this win already. Sheffield United, fair number of empty blue seats in amongst their ranks already. Some of them possibly as far up the A14 as Bury, maybe. Maybe when it went 4-0 they gave up on this one. It's now 5. Azon is smacked to the ground with a potential head injury, so that's why the referee didn't allow Ipswich Town to play the advantage, but the Spaniard's up and okay. He's got a heavily bandaged left wrist, actually, Ivan Azon. Smodics on the left for Ipswich Town, gives it back towards Clark. Now Nunez. Some very technically gifted players out there for Ipswich Town. Nunez on the ball, making life look very easy, so comfortable in possession. Has really shone since he came on, as Mick was saying. Sandra Waller Eggerly, wide right, crosses out of play for a goal kick.
Well, this has been a good sort of night for them to sort of come on and just get a feel of the place, get a feel of the stadium, get a feel of their teammates, you know, because Eggerly is he's come on, he's getting lots of the ball. That's what he wants to do. He looks a danger when he comes off the right hand side on his left foot. He looks as if he's got goals about him. Nunez has come on, and because of the way the game's gone, he's getting lots of the ball again. He's got lots of room to work in, and again he's showing that he's got real quality.
Davis looking forward towards Azon. He looks a physically strong lad, Azon. Far side, Burrows, 5-0. Ipswich Town lead Sheffield United. Harmer towards Burrows. Edge of the area now, O'Hare looking for a consolation goal. Back comes Matasiwa. O'Hare loses his footing. The effort from Harmer is off target. That's going to be a goal kick to Alex Palmer. McKenna making a note down below us.
This is really quite amazing. I still see some very, very good things from the Sheffield United players, but they must be wondering what on earth, you know, is life all about, really.
Real surprise with the announcement of man of the match. Jaden Philogene, hat-trick hero for Ipswich Town. Matos turns away from Clark. Now Sariki, down this right-hand side. Sariki fouled. Chong takes a quick free kick. Peck on the ball for Sheffield United. Harmer to the left and Burrows. First time cross. Deflected into the middle. Peck with a chance. Didn't meet it, and it pops up nicely for Palmer to maintain his clean sheet.
Yeah, a little opportunity, but the pace was taken off his effort, you know, by a Town defender, and in the end it was an easy take for Palmer to, you know, just to deal with. So clean sheet till it's still intact.
Nunez goes square to Greaves, out to the left-hand side. Clark can't keep the ball in, which is a shame. Kieran McKenna complaining about that. His team's 5-0 up. He's having a right go at the assistant on this near side. Final 4 minutes approaching on BBC Radio Suffolk. Afterwards, 0800 141 2121. Chat to Mick and Graham, or text 81333. Sutton's messages SFK. I'll go downstairs and try and get some reaction from Kieran McKenna. Given away by United. Clark, Smodics wants it. Smodics gets it. Chance for 6. Saved by Cooper. Out behind for a corner.
Yeah, could have been the third shot of the night to go through his legs, but in the end, Smodics just lifts it a little bit off the ground. I think if he'd gone low, it would have been another goal.
The crowd chanting Nunez as the Chilean gets ready to take this corner kick off to our left-hand side. Still 4 minutes to go. Davis has a word with Nunez. Nunez on this corner kick for Ipswich Town. Town being greedy, looking for a 6th goal, and it comes low to the near post, almost sneaked through there. It's out of play for a goal kick to Sheffield United.
Yeah, I don't know whether he did that deliberately, but I was always told in that situation, if the first shirt you see is a blue shirt, a teammate shirt, just drive the ball at him and anything can happen, and that's pretty much what happened. You know, there was no first man stood there by Sheffield United. The first man was a colleague. Just fire the ball at him.
Azon wins a header in the middle of the field, drops to Burrows, back to Harmer up towards O'Hare. Now in field once again for Harmer, who's going to move away, I think, to PSV Eindhoven, and also Leeds. Of talking about going to Leeds in the summer. They stayed at Bramall Lane. Wide on the right-hand side, Smodics has it for Ipswich Town. Gives it back to Furlong. Now it's with Matusiwa. He finds Nunez. Hasn't given the ball away once, Nunez. Now with Greaves. Greaves bursting forward from the back to the left-hand side. Leif Davis. Infield it goes to Clark. Clark tries to wriggle between a couple of players. Almost managed it. In the end, it's cleared away by the captain, Peck. Brought down by Campbell. Chong then goes back to Peck. Final 2 minutes of the 90. Samare is sent sprawling. Senegalese midfielder. He's only 22, on loan from Portuguese football. Jibril Samare. Tanganga stopped an avalanche of goals when they lost 1-0 to Middlesbrough last time out. He's not been able to do it here tonight. Losing by 5. Tanganga goes square to McGuinness. What a debut for him at centre-half. Burrows to Tanganga. Tanganga's happy to clear it away. Brought down by Furlong. Matusiwa tries to go beyond Samare. Harmer over the top for Campbell, but too much on it. It's all the way through to Alex Palmer as we approach the final minute of the 90. Town back in action next Saturday at Blackburn. Nunez to Clark. On the left-hand side is Davis. Back in field to Nunez, who's seen a lot of the ball since he came on. He gives it to Matusiwa. Now Greaves. Nunez once again. Greaves up towards Azon. Lays it to the left-hand side, Clark. Infield to Azon, now to Davis. Azon caught late by Tanganga. Sheer frustration from the United centre-half. As Town will make him the chase shadows. Azon thankfully back up on his feet.
Yeah, this has been a nice introduction for Nunez and Igali, because they've had the space to work in, but Azon has had to come on, you know, to try and show what he's all about, but he hasn't got the space, so we're not seeing quite so much from him.
Davis over this free kick. The ball's about to go up. Nunez has it centrally. 5 minutes. Supposed to have been a few goal celebrations, 4 of them, plus all the changes. Davis to Azon, edge of the area, gives it to Greaves. It would be nice if we're being extra greedy to see one of the new boys score. Nunez has a go from a distance. It's quite a way off target. I was thinking obviously of him or Eggly or Azon. So into added on time at the end of this game. It's been a Town victory for a little while now.
Just looking at Nunez, he's definitely the holder. He can play the holding position. Whether he's sort of responsible enough to be a Morsi or not, I'm not sure, but first signs are very, very good.
Here he is, Nunez looking for Smodics, intercepted by Burrows. One of United's probably better players. Here is McGuinness, intercepted by Nunez. Azon has the ball. Eggly's making a run. Azon tries to find Eggly. Azon gets it back. Then he's brought down. Free kick to Town. And as we saw at Carrow Road a few seasons ago, this was in the range of Marcelino Nunez. While Leif Davis is also shown an interest. He's got his arm round the shoulder of the Chilean.
He's probably saying, look, I can put this in the top corner.
Yeah. See if he can do just that. Nunez certainly fancies it. Yeah. He's my favourite at the moment. A few more players have have joined that conversation between Davis and Nunez, but they've all wandered away. It is going to be one or the other.
Davis is probably saying, look, I've been here about 4 years, just hang on here. Yeah, this is my...
Do a testimonial in the current era.
Yeah, very much so. Double.
Free kick to Ipswich Town, around about 30 yards from goal, off to our left-hand side. Can Ipswich Town make it 6-0 in the 93rd minute? This game's been won for a long, long time. We're just trying to put the icing on the cake now. It's going to be Nunez on his debut, who takes it. Oh, it wasn't far away. It had swing and it had dip, but just not enough in time.
Yeah, it was a good strike. Good strike. It looked as if it had everything. It just failed to come down underneath the crossbar, but you know, he knows that he struck that really well and it wasn't far away.
Cooper getting ready to get play back underway. He and his Sheffield United colleagues just want this last 2 minutes to disappear as he takes this right-footed sails through the halfway line. O'Shea gets it back to Palmer. Palmer out short to Davis, closed down by Campbell, goes into his own area, gives it to Greaves. Greaves away from Nunez, out the ball goes, throw into Sheffield United. Of course, in only 2 home games time, it's Norwich City who are here. Portsmouth 2 weeks tomorrow, and then it will be Norwich, the next visitors after that. Throw to Town at left back. Davis with this throw in. Still a good noise inside Portman Road. Still the vast majority of people obviously still here to celebrate this much needed win. Peck to O'Hare. O'Hare for a consolation goal. His effort was deflected nicely for Palmer. Palmer scurries to the edge of his area and throws it over arm to Smodix. Smodix takes the ball on his chest. Great that he's been able to play some football tonight after that injury on international duty that we were a little bit worried about. Harmer throws the ball to Peck, back to Harmer. In goes Furlong, good defending. Eggley spins away from Peck, has his shirt tugged. The referee's played an advantage. Eggley still has the ball. It's come off for Sumare for a throw-in. 40 seconds to go until Town fans can fully celebrate this much needed and much deserved first win of the season. Championship table look an awful lot brighter with Ipswich Town all of a sudden zooming up to 11th place, albeit just 5 games gone. It's not better than 20th. Eggley by the dead ball line pulls it back to Smodix. Back to Eggley, a chance for 6-0, cleared away by Peck just as Eggley was about to pull the trigger and almost certainly score. Furlong getting ready to take this throw-in for Ipswich Town right at the end of this match. Throw-in to Town, which won't be taken because the referee blows his whistle and brings to an end Ipswich Town's first win of the season. And boy, have they blown away the cobwebs in style. A fantastic, resounding 5-0 win over Sheffield United, who ended last season in the Championship playoff final. Jayden Philogene is already wandering out looking for the match ball. Ipswich Town's hat-trick hero as they've got their first win of the season.
Well, Philogene as an individual needed that. The club needed it, the team needed it, but Philogene as an individual needed it as well, because he hasn't had the smoothest of paths since he's been here. A lot of people haven't taken to him, myself included, if you like, but there have been signs that maybe he is settling in, he's improving, but tonight was perfect for him. Down our left-hand side, we were absolutely superb, and that is what has won us the game. Without a shadow of doubt, that is what's won us the game. We've had 2 players down the left-hand side that have been absolutely superb individually, but collectively they've been absolutely top class. They really, really have. And one has worked for the other one and vice versa. Leif Davis, incredible willingness from left back. I've watched him and I'm thinking, are you going to go well, no need to ask the question. If it's a possibility for him to go into an attacking position, he doesn't need a second invitation, he just goes. And he did some wonderful work for Philogene without doubt, but Philogene has got to put the ball in the back of the net. He's given the opportunity to come inside by Leif Davis's runs. He comes in, he's got to get himself some space, he's got to get himself in the right situation, and his finishing has got to be good, and it was. So those two have been the leaders of the team, if you like. But this has been an excellent night, but it's ended our horrible spell. It really has. It's ended the lack of a home win. It's ended this sort of barren spell we've had in the championship. So we are up and running, but I'm really looking at us and wondering, is that going to be the style of play? Because I know football well enough. You sometimes only play the way that the opposition allow you. And because Sheffield United, who are not a bad team and weren't a bad team tonight, dominated the ball for long spells, dominated us territorially, and enabled us to play a way that I haven't seen us play under Kieran McKenna before. Counter-attacking. And we did that absolutely superbly. We were quick, we were decisive, we were willing. And that's what you have to be if you're going to play a counteracting game. So it's different. It was a different performance to all those performances that we've had coming through the First Division, through the Championship and up. Even in the Premier League, we weren't playing counter-attacking football. But tonight we did, and we did it superbly. But don't be surprised if that is pretty much the last you will see of it, because I think what will happen from here on in is we will gain confidence from the victory. We will start to dominate the ball more, and I think Nunes is going to be one of the keys to that. He only had just a little bit of an appearance tonight when the game was over, but there were signs in him in that cameo appearance that he's quick with the ball, he's good on the ball, he wants it, he can give the ball, he can loan the ball, get it back, loan it elsewhere, keep the whole thing moving in a controlled manner, like we saw Sam Morsey do. So maybe he might come in. I don't know whether he'll come in for Kajust, whether he'll come in for Matazui, whether he'll just join them and we go without a number 10, I don't know. But he will be ultimately a key player for us. He really will. Good performance, good result. Feel a little bit sorry for Sheffield United because before the game we were told by a number of people they haven't got very much on the board so far, but they have been playing much better than what the results suggest. And I thought the same thing. There was a point, you know, when it was 3-4-0 tonight that like anybody, it died a death for them. But they have some quality, they really have. I think defensively they're better than what they showed. I think the goalkeeper's better than what he in the end showed. Their midfield is pretty good. They need something up front, but I wouldn't be surprised. At the moment, we're going away from this fixture having beaten a team that is very close to the bottom of the table. But I think we might be looking back in 2, 3, 4 months at a 5-0 victory against a team close to the top 6.
How about worse starts to a weekend? It's been a fantastic Friday 5 from Ipswich Town. That's just what the doctor ordered. Ipswich Town have their first 3 points of the season on the championship table. They've walloped Sheffield United by 5 goals to 0. Jaden Philogene, the star of the show.